What if I told you that Raphinha, one of the most relentless wingers of the modern era, once admitted something that quietly shook the Messi-Ronaldo debate? Not about Ballon d'Ors, not about goals, not even about trophies, but about what it feels like to survive on the pitch next to one and against the other. Raphinha says one of them makes the game feel calmer, slower, almost under control, even when you're losing. The other? He turns every minute into a war, every mistake into a death sentence. Same generation, same era, two legends. So why does Raphinha claim that playing with one felt like freedom, while facing the other felt like constant danger? And more importantly, what does that reveal about Messi, Ronaldo, and the true nature of greatness in soccer? Before we begin, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it if you love deep soccer stories that go beyond goals and trophies. Raphinha is not a neutral observer in the Messi-Ronaldo debate. He's part of that inner circle that understands the difference from the inside, through what he lived, what he faced, and what you can feel in the air when you compete against the best. In Barcelona, Raphinha arrived at a club shaped by the Messi era, learning what control really means through the culture Messi left behind and through the soccer he himself studied from childhood, frame by frame. Between his arrival and his rise into a key role, Raphinha became the kind of player who understands rhythm, timing, and how a genius can make an entire stadium breathe differently. He's seen how teams function when they believe the game can be solved. On the other side, Raphinha has felt Cristiano Ronaldo's presence the way you feel it for real, not as a name, but as a constant threat, the kind that doesn't let you drop your guard for even a second. On big nights, with league pressure and international tension, there are players who don't need to dominate possession to dominate your mind. Ronaldo is one of them. You've seen him turn quiet stretches into sudden violence, turning tight matches into brutal, irreversible outcomes. And the contrast, far from fading with time, only became clearer. Messi, at 38, is still putting up elite numbers. In 2025, he finished with 69 goal contributions, proving his dominance didn't depend on speed, but on intelligence and reading the game. Ronaldo, for his part, at 41, is still obsessed with output. He keeps stacking goals as if time simply doesn't apply to him. Same era, same ambition, different ways of dominating soccer. And that's where this confession becomes unsettling. Because if both men win, score, and break records, why does one make the game feel calm, while the other makes you feel hunted? That question takes us to the moment when Raphinha finally says it out loud. And look, he doesn't do it in the middle of a heated debate or at a press conference designed to grab headlines. It comes out in an almost casual tone, like those truths you only say once you've lived them. And that's exactly why they hit harder. Years deep into Europe's elite, reflecting on what he saw and what he felt, Raphinha was asked a simple question. What's the biggest difference between playing with Messi and facing Ronaldo? He paused, not because he didn't have an answer, but because the answer wasn't about technique. It was about feeling. Raphinha explained that when he imagined himself alongside Messi, a strange sense of security appeared. Even in chaotic matches, even when the team was under pressure, Messi seemed to turn the volume of the world down. The game obeyed him. Defenders hesitated, midfielders froze, and as an attacker, you feel it instantly. If you make the right run, the ball arrives. Not by magic, by reading, by timing, by a mind that sees the match a few seconds before everyone else. Against Ronaldo, though, the feeling was the opposite. Raphinha describes it as permanent. Alert. You can't relax after a clearance. You can't celebrate a goal like the match is already settled. You can't even assume the clock will save you, because Ronaldo doesn't wait for the game to come to him. He forces it to collapse. One moment of weakness, one defensive mistake, and the punishment is immediate. This isn't a comparison of talent. It's a confession about pressure. And from that moment on, Raphinha's words open a deeper truth. Greatness doesn't just beat opponents. It changes how everyone else behaves. When Raphinha says playing with Messi feels calm while facing Ronaldo feels dangerous, he isn't taking sides. He's describing two different kinds of domination. With Messi, the game breathes, the ball moves, defenders shift, space appears where it seems like none exists. Messi doesn't rush the moment, he absorbs it. For an attacker, that changes everything. You stop panicking, you stop forcing runs, you trust that if you move intelligently, Messi has already seen it. That's why so many players say they play better with Messi. Not because he shouts, not because he demands, but because he removes fear. Ronaldo, according to Raphinha, does the opposite. Facing Cristiano is living in constant tension. Even when his team is suffering, even when he's barely touched the ball, Ronaldo is present. His movement is aggressive. His intent is clear. He doesn't wait for harmony. He creates urgency. Defenders don't relax. Midfielders don't switch off. Wingers can't hide. Because Ronaldo's greatness is built on pressure. He makes the game vertical, brutal, unforgiving. One cross, one rebound, 1 second of lost focus, and the match is gone. So when Raphinha talks about calm versus danger, he's revealing something deeper than style. Messi dominates time and space. Ronaldo dominates moments and outcomes. And here comes the uncomfortable truth. Both forms are terrifying, but terrifying in completely different ways. That realization pushes us beyond personal experience and into history. Because this confession doesn't just describe Messi and Ronaldo, it explains why soccer itself has been divided for more than a decade. What's revealed here doesn't belong only to Messi and Ronaldo. It belongs to the history of soccer. For decades, the game has always operated between two archetypes: the orchestrator, who controls rhythm, space, and intelligence, and the conqueror, who decides matches through sheer will and execution. Messi stands in the line of players who bend soccer to their understanding. Like a chess grandmaster, he doesn't need speed or power to dominate. He needs time, angles, and silence. Teams built around him tend to trust possession, patience, and collective movement. You don't feel rushed, you feel guided. Ronaldo represents something completely different. He belongs to the line of players who break games, not manage them. His presence forces systems to adapt, defenders to panic, goalkeepers to overthink. Teams built around him become sharper, more vertical, more obsessed with the final action. There's no comfort, only urgency. And that difference changed modern soccer. Messi inspired a generation of creators, false nines, and midfielders who wanted to think faster than they ran. Ronaldo inspired a generation obsessed with numbers, physical preparation, mentality, and relentless repetition. Neither path is wrong, but they lead to different worlds. That's why this confession is so powerful. It doesn't say who's greater. It explains why the debate exists in the first place, because fans aren't just choosing a player, they're choosing a philosophy. Do you believe in control or explosion? In harmony or domination? And that question takes us to what matters most: how this should change the way we judge greatness. What makes these words truly uncomfortable isn't what they say about Messi or Ronaldo. It's what they say about everyone else. Because greatness at this level isn't only about what you do. It's about what you force everyone else to become. Messi transforms his teammates. Around him, players think more clearly. They take fewer risks. They trust the pass. Even average players look intelligent because Messi removes chaos from the game. He makes soccer feel solvable. Ronaldo transforms his opponents. Against him, defenders become anxious. Midfielders drop deeper. Goalkeepers set earlier than usual. The entire match bends toward prevention. You're not trying to play well. You're trying to survive. And that's why the debate never ends. One kind of greatness elevates. The other intimidates. This confession doesn't crown a winner. It holds up a mirror. When people argue about Messi and Ronaldo, they're often revealing their own vision of soccer. Do you admire the player who makes the game beautiful or the one who makes it merciless? Because in the end, Messi and Ronaldo didn't just dominate an era, they split it in two. And now, after hearing someone who lived it from the inside, the question is no longer who is better. The question is far more personal. What kind of greatness do you believe in? Raphinha didn't end the Messi-Ronaldo debate. He explained why it will never end. Because Messi and Ronaldo aren't two versions of the same idea. They're two opposite answers to the same question. How do you win a soccer match? One controls the game until it submits. The other overwhelms it until it breaks. And maybe that's why this rivalry defined a generation. Not because of trophies or records, but because it forced every fan, every player, every coach to choose what they value most. Now it's your turn. After hearing Raphinha's confession, who would you rather play with, and who would you rather face? Tell us in the comments, like the video if you enjoyed this story, and subscribe to the channel for more deep, honest soccer narratives. This debate isn't over, and it never will be. And here's the part most people miss. Raphinha didn't just describe Messi and Ronaldo, he described us. Because every time this debate explodes online, every time timelines burn, every time friendships crack over a comment section, what we're really arguing about is what kind of soccer moves us. Messi represents trust, trust in intelligence, trust in timing, trust that beauty can still win at the highest level. Ronaldo represents obsession, obsession with improvement, obsession with dominance, obsession with never accepting limits, not age, not context, not history. One makes you believe soccer is a language, the other makes you believe soccer is a battlefield. And maybe that's why this confession hits so hard. Because he isn't speaking as a fan, he's speaking as someone who felt both forces on his skin. He felt the calm of knowing the right pass would arrive, and he felt the fear of knowing the match was never safe. So when people ask, who is the greatest? Maybe the real question is different. Do you want soccer to be something you understand or something you endure? There's no wrong answer, only honesty. And that's why this rivalry will never die. Not because Messi and Ronaldo keep playing, but because they represent two truths that will always exist in soccer. Now tell us, which truth is yours? Raphinha didn't end the Messi-Ronaldo debate. He revealed why it was never meant to end. Because Messi and Ronaldo aren't two versions of greatness, they're two definitions of it. One makes the game feel understandable, the other makes it feel unbearable. Messi wins by making soccer quieter, slower, almost logical. Ronaldo wins by making it louder, faster, and impossible to escape. And maybe that's why this rivalry marked an entire generation. Not because of trophies, not because of numbers, but because it forced everyone watching, players, coaches, fans, to choose what kind of soccer they believe in. Raphinha felt both worlds from the inside. He felt the calm of knowing the right pass would arrive and the fear of knowing the match was never safe. So when people ask, who is the greatest? Maybe the question is wrong. Do you want soccer to be something you control or something you survive? There's no correct answer, only honesty. And that is why this debate will never die. Not because Messi and Ronaldo keep playing, but because they represent two truths that will always exist in soccer. Now it's your turn. Who would you rather play with? And who would you rather face? Tell us in the comments, like the video if this story made you think, and subscribe. Because soccer's greatest stories are never just about soccer.